Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Be a Jerk, The Wolf Among Us. This is for episode 4. This is part 9, I want to say? No, it's probably 10, because the last one was like an hour long and I was going to split that in half, and I'm recording this immediately after that. So this is the type of professionalism and organization you get here on my channel. It excels in its perfection and wonderful and awesome in every way, but we did stop sort of mid-cutscene, so we're just going to go back to that and resume our game. There we go. Yeah, I get the feeling this is going to be like the big showdown. Ugh. Trying to get comfortable for the big showdown. Let's examine it really quickly.
That's it, all right.
Okay, well I didn't need that. Now, we're gonna kick it. We're just gonna do this. There we go. I was hitting the wrong button. Whee! Wow, this doesn't look any better. This looks like one of the environments in Dark Souls 2. I expect to go around that corner and they're giants. Hey, dude.
Tim, what the hell are you doing here?
Good evening, Sheriff. I'm here to take you to the boss. Thanks, by the way, for leaving off Tiny Tim. You'd think I'd have outgrown that centuries ago.
Or being a jerk.
What? I know this isn't a social call, but I'm just watching the door here. Then again, I guess I don't know what else I should have expected.
Hold on. You've just been waiting for me to show up? You knew I was coming?
That's what they told me. I don't know, they said you made it pretty clear. I'm supposed to bring you right on in, so if you'll come this way.
Kinda don't wanna.
Look, this is the one thing I have to do. Please don't make this hard on me. I don't want to get in trouble. Will you just follow me?
I need you to hold my hand.
I feel so badly right now because we're being such a jerk. Boy. Is this a church?
I know I'm probably the last person you'd expect to be a guard, or an escort for that matter. I was a little surprised myself when they asked me to do it. I thought it was a joke, actually. An easy target. But he takes me seriously. He doesn't treat me like some broken little kid.
So basically he
That's what
works,
it's like. He gave me a job.
you know, he takes
And I'm lucky to
disenfranchised
have-
people,
This is the only option I've got.
and then he makes them think that
keep
he
that in
thinks
mind,
they're
maybe?
important.
Because if you and the boss go up against each other, the rest of Fabletown is going to get caught in the middle. And if you're here, it can't be good. So I hope you two can come to an understanding.
Don't you realize you're not just minding the door? Work for that crooked bastard, your hands get dirty too.
It's not so bad.
Not so bad. You fucking blind, Tim? He's a murderer.
So you're telling me you agree with everything Crane does? A lot of us depend on him. Some of us never get to the front of the line at the business office. But he's there. We need you, but we need him too. What we don't need is a war. Hey, Sheriff, hold up. I gotta go in with you. Can't you just wait up, Sheriff? Hold on.
No, we're being a jerk.
I don't have time for this.
God bless us, everyone.
But yeah, so he basically takes disenfranchised people and he extorts them and their vulnerability.
Stop laughing at me. Oh yeah? Mate, I ain't scared of you. It's the wolf I got a problem with.
You needn't worry. He'll come around, and like Crane before him, I'm sure he will prove himself quite handy to have in my pocket. Either he's smart enough to see this is for the best, or dim enough to do as he's told.
I say he'd be more useful killed, skinned, and made into a rug for me to wipe his shoes on. That bloody monster killed my poor brother. He's right. He was fine when Crane was smoothing things over, but this guy off his leash is a whole other barrel of crap that I don't want to deal with.
So that's it then. Let's slip the dogs of war. Hmm? None of you can see fit to stare him down. The best outcome you can picture is having him dead. I like to think a little bigger than that. You're not frightened, are you?
It's easy for you to say. He didn't pull the claws out on you.
We will tame the whelp. Like Crane, he will eventually be of more use to us alive.
Well, I don't like it.
It's not for you to like.
Now you wait?
Yeah, I wanted to hear what they were gonna
But I
say.
have a job to do. Sheriff Wolf,
Hey, that
sir.
worked out. Was this the douchebag council?
Thank you, Tim. I know the sheriff isn't the accommodating sort, but you handled it. You did well. You can go now.
Thank you, sir.
Well, there, we didn't inadvertently hurt the little guy.
You see, everyone in Fabletown has a role to fill. You just have to pay attention to what they need to help them find it. Why don't you have a seat, Sheriff? We have a great deal to discuss.
I don't know. Yeah. We're gonna be a jerk and smoke. We're not gonna just outright threaten him right now. Oh, seriously?
I've heard stories about you. In the old days, how you picked off those men one by one. Oh, how they screamed. The wolf is coming. And they would wait, hiding anywhere they
Seriously.
could squeeze their pathetic, shivering corpses. Some would just drop to their knees where they stood, close their eyes, and wait for death. And you'd give it to them. I wish I could have seen it. Oh well.
Okay, so actually this episode is going to be comprised of checking our player choices and all of that then. Cause yeah, I did not realize that other one went so long, so maybe this will be a separate episode, maybe it'll get tacked onto the other one. Let's see how I feel during editing. But, so, you send Colin to the farm. Me and 28.3% of other players decided to send him to the farm. Did I attempt to remove Nerissa's ribbon? Me and 38.5% of players tried to remove the ribbon. Jeez. Which crooked operation did you investigate first? 50% of the players. Oh, that's like right down the middle. Yeah, we went to the cut above first. Did you send Toad to the farm? Yes. 27.8% of players and I sent him to the farm. And how did you respond? Okay, 24.6% of players lit a cigarette. Alright, so there's that. Yeah, I don't actually know how, I don't know. I feel like we learned more, but we didn't learn like a ton more, so I think they're really sort of exposition dumping until they can just kind of bang out a bunch of action at the end. But there's only one more episode of this, so I'm hoping it's going to be pretty long. Because this will end up being just over an hour and a half again, maybe, like roughly, I want to say. So let's check the books of fables that we opened. So there are two more that we need to unlock for this particular chapter. Those are probably that I would get from going to the other place. So let's see. silver bullets. The legends of the great and magical wolves often make mention of their weakness against weapons made of silver, and those tales bear out to be true. I bit my tongue. Hang on. The silver bullet Mary shot at Bigby with was not the first, but any of them could be his last. Any silver left in Bigby's body weakens his system, slowing his healing, and can cause long-term damage. Okay, so Snow White is acting deputy. With Ichabod Crane firmly out of the picture and King Cole still absent, the task of leading Fabletown falls squarely on Snow's shoulders. She has performed many of the job's duties for a long time, picking up the slack for Crane. But now that she's fully in charge of the business office, she has to deal with a new level of politicking that she had not previously been exposed to. The Jersey Devil, hey buddy. Not all of the fables who came to this world landed in Fabletown. There are those who scattered across the farthest corners of the earth, and there are those who simply prefer the Garden State to the Empire State, such as the Jersey Devil. Reports of his appearance have varied, although most accounts make mention of leathery wings, but an encounter with a certain axe of legend some years ago has temporarily rendered that feature absent. So the Woodsman's Axe. It's ensorcelled by druids. Once just a simple tool for felling trees, the axe became much more when it was ensorcelled by druids and marked with their runes. But it truly became an object of legend when the woodsman used it to slice the big bad wolf from nape to neck in protection of the Little Red Riding Hood. It may carry old world charm, but its simplicity of design and quality workmanship make it an effective tool or weapon even today, although I think it needs to be sharpened. Johann. His name is often said to be said in the same breath as that of the baker and candlestick maker of Fabletown, and like those other tradesmen, Johann the butcher's storefront has served Fabletown for ages. Fresh cuts, exotic meats, and even full sides of beef for the vigorous appetites of ogres and trolls. So that's what he had, huge sides of beef. But Johann's business has fallen on hard times and fallen in with the wrong crowd, and as the quality of his products declined and his business turned into a front operation for the Crooked Man, some have started to wonder if they ever really knew Johann. Bluebeard's money. One might think that Bluebeard donates funds to the Fabletown government for nefarious purposes, seeking special favors or to have a louder voice in government, but what he really wants is stability and strength, because as far as Bluebeard is concerned, Fabletown exists to insulate him from the Mundy world. As much as his money can be a sword, it also serves as a shield. That's interesting. The Crooked Lair. Occupying a desanctified church, this is just one of many locations the Crooked Man's operation uses to run the Fabletown underworld. Its lounge atmosphere makes for a comfortable meeting place, unless you are an unwelcome guest. It is completely boarded up to the outside world, and the only way in is through one of the many portals marked by a door with the Crooked Man's Catherine wheel icon, scattered throughout the city and elsewhere. The Crooked Man. He's a crime lord. Alright, the Crooked Man has slowly built himself into one of the most powerful figures in Fabletown. His operation started with a crooked sixpence and a crooked house, two things he cared more about than his wife or children, whom he killed rather than let them stand in his way. In his rise, the Crooked Man has ensnared many fables in his criminal web, providing them with what they need, but always at a high cost. He is cunning, persuasive, and ruthless. Okay, Tiny Tim. He's a sentry. While most fables theorize that their longevity and overall well-being is improved by the Mundy world's knowledge of them, for a select few that does not seem to apply. When a malady or injury is an integral part of a fable story, the notoriety can make recovery near impossible. That's what Tiny Tim thinks, at least, and no medical care or magic has none that he can afford can heal his leg. There we go. April can read. With its idyllic location and managed community, the farm would seem to be an unwelcome alternative to eking out an existence in Fabletown, but those who have lived there see it very differently. Yeah, they see it for what it is, a prison, a place where you are free to be who you are and do whatever you please, except leave. It doesn't help that while fables who appear human do not have to worry about being sent to the farm, they always seem to fill the leadership roles there. Well, that's interesting. So yeah, there are two that we haven't unlocked for that, and then yes, next episode will be the last. So what have we got here? Yep, just completed these achievements. And then we need to unlock all of the Book of Fables entries. So there we go. I have no idea how I'm going to break up this episode into different parts. I literally have no clue. But, you know, it's no big deal. That's for me to sort out. So however this comes to you, sorry if it was really weird. And, yeah. So I enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you think about what's going on and whether or not, again, like I said last time, whether or not you've played this and etc., etc. And I will see you next time. Bye!